And the doogie plops down, all relaxed. So, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. We did one stream of this before that I thought I had to, like, take a break in the middle for a freaking Fragapalooza meeting, whereas the Fragapalooza was today, this week. So now that that meeting is done, I can, play this game. It's basically late night chilling at this point. This is way later than expected. Hello, Mortis. How are you doing today? I also still have... I gotta log into Ubisoft... Gosh, freaking darn it. Okay. Is it this email? Let's find out. Which email is... I thought I could just click the start playing button and then we could start playing. Okay. Preparing to launch your game. Some random person whose name I've never seen before apparently wants to be my friend on Ubisoft Connect. No. I don't know where I go to access that. Oh my goodness, my screen's going a little bit crazy here. I'm gonna need to switch over to this layout. The game's probably gonna be like super large because the last thing I game captured was Tales of Symphonia, and Tales of Symphonia was kind of small, so I had to extend it out. Was the thing. So let's set this to Assassin's Creed Syndicate. And then, yeah, it's large like that. I got Alt-Tab off, and that bugs everything out. Everything goes a little bit crazy, so then I go ahead and adjust this, put it into the corner, and then bada bing, bada boom, like that. We have the game adjusted. There we go. Something like that. Okay. You know, oh my goodness, it's loud. I'm turning it down. Every time I Alt-Tab off the game, it, like, freezes up OBS completely for a sec. Well, not completely, but it gives me an encoding overload. Is what it does. Let's turn it down to, like, here. We'll see if that's a good volume, potentially. There we go. Something like this. Anyway, I still haven't actually started uploading the Assassin's Creed Syndicate series. I've been meaning to, but, like, there's so many uploads going on right now and so many series that have been, like, being started lately with the mayhem going on around the channel that there really isn't good breathing room to have, like, time to give this series a proper starting thing. Because, you know, I do so many series that I was in Sequence 4, right? This is, like, my old save file that it somehow brought down for some reason. I swear if my save data is lost. Anyway, whenever I have multiple series going at once, I'll usually only select, like, 1 or 2 playthroughs that get, like, the privilege of getting published to the subscriber feed, and the rest just get, like, uploaded, like, hidden for anybody to, like, browse through in the future and whatnot if they really want to. But it's not something, you know, with a bazillion series that we do around here, I don't want every single one to be published to the subscriber feed. So, you know, whenever I start a new series, I'll usually publish, like, the first 1 or 2 to the subscriber feed and then disable it unless it's, like, one of my really big series that I know a lot of people will be really interested in. But as is, what the heck? But as is, did you really not notice? I already have several series getting published to the subscriber feed because there's, you know, my Mario and Luigi series, which, wound up doing way better than I expected it to, and the YouTube algorithm has actually been, like, kind of liking a decent bit lately. And it's like, oh, that's interesting, so I should probably have this series be published to the subscriber feed until the end. Tales of Symphonia started its uploads recently, and that's something that I feel like is fitting for getting published to the subscriber feed, because it's, like, one of the rare opportunities where we're doing a multiplayer playthrough, and, you know, the shenanigans during a multiplayer playthrough just get, like, amplified to the extreme, so it's like, okay, that is a series that I would like to share out there if possible, you know? And then there's Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes that I thought was only going to come out at the end of the month, and it does only come out at the end of the month. But they released a demo around the beginning of this month that was like 7 hours long. It took me to go through the freaking demo. It was the longest game demo I've ever played in my life. It made like the first 13 parts of my series, which is basically enough daily uploads to lead up until like a few days before the full thing releases. It's like, whoa! And I know that Fire Emblem is one of the most popular things on my channel. Like, in terms of games on this channel, Pokemon's probably #1 most popular, and Fire Emblem's probably second, honestly. A lot of that likely stemming from the, originally from the Fire Emblem Awakening series there, and then translating into some other things like Three Houses and Fire Emblem Fates. I can't wait to continue with Fire Emblem Fates. Oh, I thought I knocked you down off the roof. Wait. Oh, okay. Guess that's not happening. So that's so whenever something Fire Emblem related is going on in the channel, that's a big one that I want published to the subscriber feed. Let's just do this for now. How about so that's 3 as is. I usually try to only have 1 published to the subscriber feed at once, like maybe 2 at most. But there's 3 right now, and I don't want to take away like the published to the subscriber feed rights for like any one of them. So if I did find a day to like, you know, actually publish the first episode or 2 of Assassin's Creed Syndicate, that means I'd have like 4 freaking videos published to the subscriber feed in one day. And that's kind of what happened when I uploaded episode 9 of the Minecraft series, Peculiar Potions, which, you know, was back from like a 2-month absence. But when it's getting uploaded in the wake of like a bazillion other videos, it's not really able to, you know, get properly noticed as like the grand return. So I was like, oh, I really shot myself in the foot, didn't I? So yeah, I'm kind of in this state where I don't really know when should be the proper breathing room to start uploading Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I might just even start uploading like the very first couple episodes, like without it being published as a subscriber feed, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't I don't know how many people around the YouTube channel there are interested in Assassin's Creed Syndicate. I don't know. I've recorded a bunch of episodes of Peculiar Potions because, you know, now that the Legends Arceus essay is done, I've been going a little bit ham on that, essentially. So I've been preparing a bunch of those that I can, like, edit into episodes here in the near future. But part of me wonders if I should hold off on doing Minecraft uploads, this dedicated playthrough series, until I no longer have, like, 3 things being published in the subscriber feed. It's a whole weird situation right now. That's not where I wanted to go. So, yeah, it's like one of those rare problems that you would basically never see on, like, any other YouTube channel, most likely, but you'll see happen on my channel. I'm uploading too much, and I don't know what to do about it. It's a serious problem for me. Anyway. But hello, Mythic. If I'm honest, most of the content you watch is the live stuff. Usually you jump to YouTube if you couldn't catch a stream like your recent RCT World Series, or if it's something like Peculiar Potions. Yeah, I feel like, what is going on here? I feel like that's a way a lot of the stream goers handle it, but, you know, I also have to acknowledge that nowadays the YouTube channel is much larger than the Twitch channel, and I think that in terms of, like, the series that get published as a subscriber feed, at least, there's more people that watch on YouTube than there are during the streams. Like, maybe not for, like, my lesser-known things that aren't published as a subscriber feed that I just do because they're fun and I want to do them, like this. But, you know, things like my main uploads or things published as a subscriber feed, like Fire Emblem 3 Hopes recently, for example. What the heck? There's definitely more people watching that on YouTube after the fact than people who watch the live streams at the time. I can say that for certain. Same with the Mario and Luigi series, which I might just have those get published as a subscriber feed for like the main game, and the moment it goes, into the additional content stuff, I might stop having it get posted, maybe, I don't know. So, oh man, it's so wacky playing these games sometimes, you know. Sometimes it gets real wacky. So yeah, I do feel like that's the, you know, way that, you know, a lot of the stream goers handle it is, you know, stop by a lot of the streams, and then YouTube is a resource for, like, you know, tuning into stuff that was missed or whatnot. And that's the reason I originally started my YouTube channel, was to make, like, a platform where people who wanted to watch the streams could, like, see it after the fact. That was the original intention. And then the YouTube became, like, so much more, and, like, the much larger platform, to the point that I've said it before, I'll say it again, one day I might just become a YouTube streamer instead of a Twitch streamer. If that ever happens, it still won't be for a while. But, oi. So, yeah, that's the predicament that's going on over here right now, essentially. But yeah, and yeah, sorry that I missed that by a bit, but you are absolutely correct, Mortis. It is Industrial Spider-Man. It totally is. Whoa. This away. It's not always about the pieces of Eden, Spider-Man, or whatever the heck, I don't know. So down this way, huh? So down this way we go. I probably should have gone into, like, stealth mode this whole time. Whoops. I kind of forgot that it was a thing that existed in this game. Yeah, these sewer assets are just the same kind of things that... What?
Don't follow me.
What?
I'm being chased.
I'm being chased! Possible to grow on Twitch alone? Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll just kidnap here. Might be easier. Do you need another platform like YouTube to grow, especially since you need a way for people to watch content easily at any point, even when you're not live? Yeah. Like, on Twitch, you're only live when you're live streaming. Platforms like YouTube, you're always live. Like, in terms of discoverability, like, you're not always live in terms of live streaming on YouTube, but, you know. No. I could press the X button to assess. I'd probably fail the mission, though. I would probably fail the mission. But yeah, so that's what's going on with that. So, I don't know if I'm just gonna, like, hold off on starting the first couple episodes of this uploading until I have a bit fewer things being uploaded. I don't know if I want to hold off on some of the Peculiar Potions uploads for a little while for the same reason. Because, yeah, I usually do not have this many series at once getting published as a subscriber feed. So, you know, there's that. In terms of other series, like, I usually try to keep up, like, pretty close with daily uploads. For most series, I haven't been able to for Splatoon 2, and I've wanted to stream it recently. But I, well, let's just say that I keep a bunch of my, you know, more regular games, my ones that I'm actively doing on the channel, in this little game case that I leave on my desk. And, I took my dad to this, like, appointment that he was gonna have to be in for, like, a couple hours. So, I decided to take my Switch along with me, and I put that little game case in, like, the door of the vehicle. And, well, oh, there's a synchronization point, a viewpoint over there. Is it super close? Wait, I'm here. I might fail the mission if I get that far, honestly. Anyway, and he's been out of town for, like, the past more than a weekend. So, like, I've been wanting to continue with Splatoon 2 because, like, I haven't had, like, any uploads on that for a good while. And I just straight up can't because I don't have the cartridge right now. So, whoops, you know. Oops. There's that. Hello, Polico stuff. I've not yet played any of the AC games, but you recently purchased the Switch version of Assassin's Creed 3 because retailers seem to be phasing out cartridge copies of the game in favor of code and box packages. Huh. Interesting. Assassin's Creed 3 was my first Assassin's Creed game. I played it on the freaking Wii U, and I really liked it at the time, but when I came back and played it for the sake of this series on the channel of doing them all in order, it's like, oh, yeah, that's not as good as I remember it. Like, it's a big kind of mixed bag for me. I still feel like it's worthwhile and whatnot and a fun game. Some parts of it are a bit wonky. Some of the missions get a little bit wonky. Like, I remember that one Hatham mission in the beginning of the game where you have to, like, tail, I believe it was George Washington when he was just a commander army dudo. And the game does not afford you the best of hiding places, so you have to tail these guys while they're having a conversation. And I remember back in the day, I heard it so many times that I don't think I have it memorized anymore, but I used to have it memorized just because I heard it, like, so many times. It was something along the lines of, damn it, why George? What reason did he give? He said that, something or other was costing, yeah, I don't remember it. That some sort of a truce is not a truce at all, that doing something with the French will only delay the inevitable. Yeah, I don't have it memorized anymore, but there was a time when I had that whole freaking conversation memorized because I was just doing the freaking thingamabob over and over again, and gosh darn it, you know. I do like the game at the end of the day, but I don't love it anymore. But it is a good setup into Assassin's Creed 4, which is also on the Switch. They released Assassin's Creed The Rebel Collection on the Switch, which is 4 and Rogue that use, like, the same engine. Well, 3, 4, and Rogue all use the same engine, but 4 and Rogue both use, like, the same ship mechanics. They're both, like, the piratey ones, and those are considered some of, if not the best games in the series, essentially. Well, at least 4 is. Rogue isn't considered as good, but, you know, Rogue is just, like, another version of playing 4, essentially, and is therefore a good, fun game. It's so fun being a piratey. Dude, can I kick you off? Nope. What? 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 If this was the Americas games, in other words, 3, 4 Rogue, I would have been able to kick her off with that, but alas. Alas, no such luck. But yeah, 3 is alright. It's pretty okay. But Assassin's Creed 4, that right there is my favorite game in the whole series. So dang good. Freaking legendary. And playing 3 before 4 will make 4 more enjoyable if you ever want to play 4. So, alright, let's just kill the, super bad dude. Did they really not notice me? Alright, Spider-Man away! How did they actually not notice me doing that? Like, they are genuinely blind. I think that once we do manage to get through this series of doing every single Assassin's Creed game in order, I'd like to make a tier list of the Assassin's Creed games, in my opinion. Like, I can't do it right now because I haven't played them all yet. But we'll get there, and I don't know if it would be like a video essay. It might be, but I feel like, you know, after spending years doing this, what are you doing? It would only be right at the very end to make to make like my tier list of the whole thing. I feel like Syndicate thus far is what I feel like is a good definition of a pretty average kind of game. Like, it's been interesting coming back to it and remembering some of the things here, because this is one of the games I never beat. My biggest complaint with this game thus far is it doesn't really feel like there's much of a story. It just feels like a world with missions to do in it, which isn't necessarily like a super bad thing if that's the kind of experience you want to have, if you just want like a world with a bunch of missions around to do in it. But, you know, then my biggest problem is I'm missing a sense of purpose because I don't really understand what I'm achieving. Like, it's mentioned the big bad of Crawford Starrick or Robert Starrick or whatever the heck his name was. But it hasn't shown him. It hasn't shown any of the direct things that he's done. It's basically just said, he's a big bad. We need to work towards defeating him. So I just feel like really aimless in the story of this. I just feel like I'm in a world doing missions. You know, which if that's your cup of tea, it's your cup of tea. But, you know, I feel like it's missed its mark there a little bit. I don't know if the later Assassin's Creed games are like that. I know that, you know, the new 3 of Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla are all supposed to be like, you know, these open world RPG thingamabobs or whatever the heck. So we'll see what that's like when we get to them. I've heard, oh, whatever, doesn't matter. So there's that. Oh, I had briefly had the alert box off, but gosh dang, I got alt tab off. If only I hadn't turned off the alert box right at that moment. There we go. I appreciate the 20 bits there, Mythic.
Here, get some nice snacks for Truffle the Shuckle lol.
Will absolutely do. Alright, let's liberate this area. Bam! Gang stronghold completed. Sweet. Really cool. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about the new games. I've also heard a lot of bad things about some of the newer games, namely things like monetization in Valhalla, apparently, which I know nothing about, but I'm wary. I am wary, to say the least, so there's that. There's that. Let's go try this Templar hunt, is what we shall try. Whoa. On OBS, is the frame rate of the game seeming a bit wonky? It's so... I'm looking over on OBS and the frame rate there is seeming a lot wonkier than the game in front of me. Maybe it's just on OBS, maybe it's not reflective of the stream. Can anyone let me know if the frame rate seems wonky? Like if it's a little bit jittery or if it's just fine? Of the game at least, if the game capture's working okay. I hope it is. Hopefully. So, kill Ada Striker. Do I have to kill both the golden dodos? Okay, kill Clyde Striker and Ada, whatever the heck. Attaboy. Striker. So can I just, like... I don't know if headshots kill in this game. They do in the Americas games, but I don't know if they do in this game. Yeah, where's basically how you're with any game releasing soon. Honestly, this summer is the first time you've wanted to pick up game day 1 and had the ability to do so. And it makes you a touch nervous and excited, what, just because of, like, the, over-monetization of games nowadays and, like, the whole games as a service model that countless developers do. One of these days, I would like to do a video essay on how, like, the gaming industry has changed in general in regards to these kinds of things. The whole games as a service model and, release schedules and whatnot and that whole situation. So, let's go ahead and kill this guy. If I ever do that, that would be like a massive project of a video essay. And I feel like I'd probably reach out to contacts in the gaming industry to see if I could potentially get some insight on that. Like, boopity bop, big smackaroo. Ah, gosh darn it. Kill this guy and then I'm out of here. Cool. Like that freaking, that chip nerd who, you know, made Dark Deity, for example. Maybe I could reach out to him, get his ideas on the subject. The artist behind Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2, who reached out to me a couple of years ago in regards to my video essay on Roller Coaster Tycoon. Maybe I could reach out to him and be like, hey, you remember me? Would I be able to ask for your input and experience with the gaming industry by chance? There's BioWare here in this city. I don't personally know anyone in BioWare. I know that the BioWare was founded by these two guys, and I don't think either of them are involved with BioWare anymore, but one of them started getting into like the beer industry afterwards, which was an industry that my dad was in for a very long time until you know, the whole situation with him physically and his knees and whatnot, and him needing to wait on a bunch of surgeries and whatnot with that. But while he was in the beer industry, one of the BioWare founders and my dad, they know one another because they were both involved in the beer industry. So not because of anything game related, but because of beer. So I don't know if that would be a contact to potentially reach out to for that kind of project. Like, hey, could I maybe get some input about how you think the gaming industry has changed over time? So what the heck? Zipline's being weird. So, like, that's a video essay project I'd very much like to do one day, but it would be probably the most ambitious video essay I'd ever do, and while I know I want to do it one day, I'm very nervous to start it, quite frankly. So, yeah, we'll see what goes on there. But yeah, your STG, wait, I don't know what that stands for. If Splatoon 3 has a battle pass, you're gonna start a riot. Oh, man. Either a battle pass or just like monthly time limited rewards or something like that. That was what turned me off from freaking the third Garden Warfare game. Like well, I think we've talked about this during Assassin's Creed before even. How I really enjoyed playing Garden Warfare 1. I was addicted to that freaking video game. Garden Warfare 2, while gameplay wise you could say that it was the better game, I just couldn't get as into it because it just didn't handle progression in as satisfying of a way. And then Garden Warfare 3 was just straight up like, yeah, here's time-limited monthly rewards that'll just be gone forever at the end of each month. And I was like, yeah, there goes all my motivation to play. I did enjoy the single-player content of Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. The single-player content of that game was actually surprisingly good. And some of the puzzles in it were, like, really well-designed. Like, there was this one puzzle on the zombie side. I don't even remember what part it was in, but there's probably some episode that I have titled something about puzzles. It was straight up one of the most fascinating puzzles and well-designed puzzles I'd ever seen in a video game. I was astounded, and it was just for like this one random puzzle wall in the world that I guess one of the developers came up with, and it was really, really good. So that game was still worth it for the single-player content, but when I was done with the single-player content, like, before that game came out, I was like, oh, is this gonna be like a new multiplayer game that I stream regularly in addition to Smash Bros. And Dead by Daylight? Back during a time that I used to still stream Smash Bros. And Dead by Daylight regularly. And then it was the thing with the monthly rewards and you know, the monthly cosmetics, and if you don't get them right now, then they're gonna be impossible to get until the end of time, unlike the earlier games. And it just killed my motivation to play. I was like, okay, I'll play a little bit of multiplayer to showcase it, but then I'm just done. I'm not dealing with this crap, you know, was essentially what happened there. But yeah, let's see here. Recently learned that the new Halo game's Battle Pass lets you go back and earn rewards from previous Battle Passes you've purchased. That's interesting there. That is interesting. Dead by Daylight has a thing with, like, its Battle Passes where you can go back and, like, do the challenges of previous Battle Passes and, you know, get the blood point rewards from them, but not the cosmetics. Like, the cosmetics aren't locked away until the end of time. You can still purchase them in the in-game store, either with real money or by dumping enough hours in for iridescent shards. I mean, some you can only buy with real money, but those are usually just, like, the licensed ones that, you know, they have to pay some other third party for, so that makes sense at least. There are some that are original that are paid only, but that kind of system, looking at Dead by Daylight, it's like, okay, that's not half bad. Still not my favorite thing in the world, but it's not half bad. That's not the reason why I stopped playing Dead by Daylight, though. I stopped playing Dead by Daylight because that game sucks. But let's see here. Microsoft fixed everybody's problem with the battle passes and nobody noticed. Huh. PubCap needs to make a new Bookworm Adventures game. Just a new Bookworm game in general. Bookworm is severely underrated. I'm not familiar with that one. I'm very familiar with Plants vs. Zombies, and I'm familiar with Peggle. I used to play Peggle back in the day. This rain and seeing him struggling with the umbrella is reminding me of that was me earlier today. This week is the week that I've been getting into like a proper work schedule again and whatnot at the university. And it was just raining like crazy today. I was doing a bit of adventuring around campus a bit today. And for one, campus is so dead during the summer. It's honestly a nice bit of a break compared to like the super crowded hallways that I'm used to seeing there. Just walking around and there's like almost nobody around. It's like, huh, there's space here. Anyway, it was storming like crazy today. And when I had my umbrella out, the wind was like blowing my umbrella like the wrong way. So I had to like hold the umbrella towards the wind for the wind to like fix my umbrella back again. And it was a pain. But yeah, as we'd rather EA just don't. And Bookworm Adventures 2 4-letter Hordes DLC. Imagine. Like Destiny 2 Season Pass, same model as the Battle Pass. Bookworm Adventures 2 already exists. Huh. Had like no marketing. Huh. I think my favorite expansion pass to any game ever is probably Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But I don't know if there's any battle passes in games that I particularly... I mean, I don't play a lot of multiplayer games. Overdose! Jacob infiltrates the mysterious Lambeth Asylum to put an end to Dr. Elliotson. We're gonna go put an end to the person that's dealing like this illegal syrup stuff with the help of Charles Darwin over here. Yeah, it seems like pretty good DLC as well so far. But it's too bad Splatoon isn't as much of my cup of tea. If it was a game that I was like super duper into, I'd probably get a lot more enjoyment out of it. But as is, I'm the kind of person that's like, Splatoon's pretty alrighty. Let's do it.